Okay. Well, a warm welcome, Jagrati ma'am, to our YouTube channel. We, as an counseling profession, we would like to get awareness to these students, like, what type of courses are available for them and, like, which are the best fit careers for them, entrances that they need to appear for, because all this causes a lot of confusions in the minds of the students. So through our YouTube channel, we are at Dream Achievers, we are trying to bring out the best to the students so that they can choose what they want to aspire. And we begin with the Institute Visual Palette, where Jagrati ma'am is the founder director. She is an interior designer herself, and she is a passer from SP University. She has been a gold medalist. Wow, ma'am, that's really great. She has been a topper of her batch. She has done projects, commercial as well as residential. And right now, from last 6 years, she is been doing her own faculty department, like the interior designing course is totally taken care by her, and she also trains students for the entrances that they have to appear for, be it for NIFT or NIT or CEPT, and even for the architecture students she takes up the NATA training for them. Well, ma'am, there's lots and lots that we would like to know from your journey, and we would be very happy if you could share a little about the journey, how you got inspired to take up this course, or what was the skills that made you think that you could get into interior designing. Everything, if you could share with us.
Sure. Warm good afternoon to Sonia ma'am and all the listeners. I am glad today to be here on this YouTube channel with Sonia ma'am. And thank you so much for inviting me for the awareness about such courses. Right. So basically talking about my journey, I am Jagrati Thakkar, as described by Sonia ma'am. I'm an interior designer and I coach students for the entrance exams in architecture and other design colleges. So basically, this field is completely creative field, little out of the box from the regular courses, and also these courses are they can be taken after any stream, like if you want to go in design does not have any restrictions. Any person from any field, like say it arts, say it commerce or science, can get into the design. I was myself a science student in my 11th and 12th and then taken up the design. But for the architecture, 12th science is required. That's physics and maths is compulsory. So students aspiring for architecture, I would recommend them to take a science stream, and the design aspirant students can take up any streams, right? So my journey towards this field started in a way that I was in my 10th standard when the earthquake 2001 struck Kutch. So I belong to Bhuj, Kutch, the very much epicenter of that earthquake. So a lot of destructions happened. A lot of families were disturbed, and a lot of people didn't have homes during that time. So that was the very first time I understood the importance of the proper structural homes. I just saw that the homes which survived the earthquake were the homes which were structurally made, you know. So that inspired me to get into this field. I thought, being an architect, if I can help the community by constructing proper homes, they can survive such national or any kind of natural calamities, basically. Right? So that is how I began my journey. And I took up my science only because of the field of architecture. Later on, I appeared for the architectural entrance exams. At that time, we had state entrance called SATA, which is now converted into national entrance exams called NATA. NATA, the full form is National Aptitude Test in Architecture. So that is how the students who are aspiring for architecture, especially I would like to draw their attention here is that you have to take up science for 11th and 12th for appearing for NATA exams. Then later on, the score of your 12th, that is aggregate marks of your 12th standard, along with the aggregate marks of your entrance exams are considered in 50-50 ratio, and there is this separate merit list which is prepared, and this is how one student can get admission into any of the architecture colleges.
That's really nice, ma'am. It's really wonderful to know because it gets a little easier for these students also to make a path for themselves, how they have to follow, what are the targets they have to set, how are the goals to be achieved. It gets a very clear picture for them also. So if we as educators and teachers can guide them, as counselors can guide them to this, I think it will become much more easier for them to pick up a career or pick up an aspirating career for themselves. Well, ma'am, any specific skills are required if in case of architecture? Any specific skills that you look out for, or interior designing, fashion designing, anything that in particular that you look out for, that best fit it should be for the career?
Yes, the skills. While talking about the skills, Sonia ma'am, skills required for becoming an architect or a successful designer, it is a creative field. So creativity is the only skill which is required for these type of courses. Like the person who is aspiring for these courses must look into the challenge accepting behavior. Every day there is new challenge. You have to develop something new every day. Like the book you study or the course that you study does not have any limitations or does not restrict you to any kind of particular target. You have to think beyond your books, beyond your course, and have to create something new every day. So any creative person can be the part of these courses. Well, talking about creativity, creativity does not have any kind of qualification. I think each and every one born here is creative. सब कोई जो है वो creative है. It's only because of our education system, or maybe because of the focused academics, the students lose their creativity somehow for some moment. That is just has to be brought out. So it is there inside us everywhere, but only bringing out matters here. So anybody can take up this course and later on, yeah, but that attitude, that accepting the challenges every day and thinking different than the others, that is what is the criteria is. For example, if I'm an interior designer, I design a restaurant. So if I'm going for designing another restaurant, I have to think different from the previous one. I have to completely get out myself from the previous one. Yeah, the theme was different, the requirement was different, the scenario was different, and now again a new beginning. So this is how the journey of such course career oriented people goes. So any creative person can pick up the course. So skills like creativity has to be developed in oneself if you're really looking for such courses.
What I understand from your saying or your views is, ma'am, that you can be from any stream, that is not an issue. But you need to have creativity because that is essential for us. Because if we are not creative, if we are
Absolutely.
not imaginative, we cannot do justification to our profession later on. So this is more important. Sometimes children do tell me, ma'am, we had taken science, we have taken science. But when they tell science, for them science is PCB also, for them science is PCM also. So they don't understand that for courses like architecture, they need to go in for PCM, that is physics, chemistry, maths. So we need to clear it out to them that science means the stream that is for the engineering. They have to opt
Yes.
for that. And similarly, ma'am, when they are going for entrances, do they have to make any portfolio? Like, do they have to take up some designs, or like, something that they've really done as a model? Is that helpful to them? Will that add on to their note of entrance?
For the architecture, no, there is no portfolio required for your entrance and admissions. Only the entrance exam score along with the 12th aggregate marks will be considered. So no portfolio as in has to be prepared, formal portfolio as in has to be prepared for architecture. But yes, for design, when you're going, the top design colleges will give you admission only after seeing your portfolio. There will be a personal interview as well along with your portfolio submission, where people will interview, the experts will interview the student regarding the things learned by them, observation skills of theirs, and creative skills of theirs.
Right. So, ma'am, is coaching compulsory for entrance? Do you think that for the entrance level preparation, students should go in for coaching? How important is that? Because many of them feel that they can prepare on their own side by side. But so, if you could give a clear
Absolutely.
picture.
See, basically, the skill required for architecture is creativity. As I told you, if someone feels that, yeah, they are creative enough, they can go attempt the exam. But only difference between taking up the coaching and not taking up the coaching is when you take up the coaching, you have an expert who is reviewing your work and showing you the path in the right direction, that what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how to work better with your weaknesses, and how to enhance your strengths. So that expert factor matters when you talk about the coaching. When you really take the coaching, you are focused, you are seen that yeah, these are the important points needed to be taken care of. There is this system which you have to follow for achieving your target. So, according to me, a small session coaching also is necessary for students taking up some creative field, because till 10th standard or till 12th standard, the system of academics, what they are following, basically CBSE students or state board students, for them, when we talk, there is this different pattern of studies, keeping more stress, on the important subjects like maths, ho gaya, science, ho gaya, such things. So when it comes to creativity, somewhere, your observation skills, your sketching skills, this has to be enhanced. So when you have an expert with you, you really can go in the right direction.
Ma'am, when is the right time to start with the coaching actually for a student?
Basically, there are a lot of crash courses also available for coaching. But personally, what I recommend is you should start with your coaching right after the 10th standard, right after you decide that, yeah, you want to pursue your career as this, like an architect, then it should be very well focused right from the 10th standard. Once you finish with your 10th standard, you should start with your coaching along with the academics at least once a week, twice a week for 2 years, when you work along with your academics in a way that your academics is also not disturbed, and also you are into the field right from the 10th standard. Like, that will give you the base. So for one whole year, only once a week, if you attend the classes, you can have the girth of the subject, what are the subjects available. And I feel personally that that thing will completely change your perception. Like, if at all I am looking out from my window, I right now am suppose looking at some buildings, but if I'm going through the coaching, if I really understand what architecture is all about, I will start viewing it in the other direction. Yeah, that the same building has some elements like it's called beam, it's called column, this is called window has RCC, PCC, etc. So the observation of the perception of the aspirant will automatically change. So the right age, according to me, is after 10th standard.
Okay, ma'am, but when a student is taking up 11th and 12th, and especially for architecture, like, PCM is compulsory, they say. So when this child is preparing for the academics, how well can he balance the preparation of his this coaching also? Like, how is that schedule to be maintained? Entrance
Right.
and academics together.
Right. So, as I said, aspirant should fix up at least 2 hours a week. That's one session of 2 hours a week. Then The other 5, 6 days of the week can be dedicated to the academics, that is PCM they are studying, and one day of the week should be dedicated to the coaching of the architecture. So this is how they should balance it. And later on, when they come in 12th standard, by the end of 11th standard, their completely course of the architecture along with the academics should be over. And in the 12th standard, then the polishing part comes. Like once you're done with the course, once you understand the subject, then what you need to do is just polish your thing, like a raw diamond is shining only after polishing. So that polishing thing has to be done in the 12th standard.
Right. Ma'am, at times, what happens is students try to give in 100%, but still they're not able to clear the entrance, or they are not up to that mark to get into the cream colleges or universities. So is there any backup option for them? Like, for example, if a student is preparing for NATA, but he's not able to clear it to the level that he had to for BArch, then what is the other option open for him?
Well, what according to me, Sonia ma'am, that if you fix up a target and if you give your 100%, nobody can stop you from achieving your target. It is said that अगर आप दिल से कोई चीज के लिए इच्छा करते हैं तो पूरी कायनात आपको वो चीज मिलाने के लिए कोशिश करती है. So personally, what I feel is if you give your 100%, you can definitely reach to your target. But in case somehow, if you fail to reach that target, there are very good other options as well. Like, we have quite a good colleges now in India, also in our Gujarat for architecture, which you can take up. Like, if I thought कि हाँ मुझे इंडिया की top ranking college like सेप्ट है उसमें admission चाहिए, but in case if I didn't get in SEP, yeah, I can opt for the other colleges, because at the bottom of the day, what matters is your caliber more than the college. You study from any of the college, but yeah, ultimately your caliber will matter. So there are a lot of options, in our basically India for the architecture. If I talk particularly about Gujarat, there are in particularly 38 colleges running for architecture courses here in Gujarat.
Okay, that's really nice. Ma'am, could you tell us a little about the syllabus or the content that is there for the entrance? Like, so that would give a little clear picture for the students. Mentally, they can prepare themselves. Okay, this is what is going to be asked.
Sure. Basically, for entrance exam, there are two parts. The first part is the general ability test, that is aptitude test along with the mathematics. Like from 2018, mathematics has been reduced to 20%, and other 30% is the general aptitude test, where the knowledge of the good architects, the good buildings which the architects have developed, material study, what are the materials physically used for the construction or by the architects or the builders, those things, little bit of your general knowledge, IQ as well. Like, for that, I strongly recommend students to read newspaper every day. Like, what I feel is today's generation is a little bit lazy because of the mobile usage, but I recommend all the students, not only the students who are appearing for architecture, but all the students that do read newspapers every day and be updated to the world going around you. So, talking again, coming back to the topic again, that 30% of the course will be the general aptitude test, your logical reasoning as well. There will be questions which can test your logical reasoning. So first part, general ability test will cover maths, logical reasoning, general aptitude, and the little bit of GK and IQ. While the other 50% of the paper is CAT, that is creative ability test. In creative ability test, there are basically two questions. The first question is targeted on the memory drawing, like any question, situational question will be given to you, like draw a scene of a railway station, right? To that, from your memory, the student have to identify that what all things are present in the railway station, what how from where you are viewing the railway station. Someone will view you view the railway station sitting on a couch in front of the train. Someone will view the railway station standing inside the train. Someone will view the railway station standing on the bridge, the overhead bridge above the train. So the one's perception matters here. So perspective drawing is one of the syllabus into the architectural entrance exam. And the first question is completely based on that, where memory and the perspective of a person matters, and drawing skills of a person, कि how you draw what is there in your mind. Like आप जो सोच रहे हो वही same thing आप paper पे कैसे लेके आते हो, that drawing skill is also required. While the other question in creative ability test is based on structures. Like, for example, they will ask you to create a three-dimensional structure from two boxes, one cylinder, like, such elements will be given, and ultimately you have to imagine rearranging those 3D objects into a composition where that composition is stable. Like उसको खड़ा करके वो गिरना नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा structure खड़ा करना है, and then you have to sketch that thing. Also, the light and shadow is one of the topic in your entrance exam, that how light affects the vision. Shadows are created with the light, from what direction the light are coming, that sense of the understanding that, yeah, when the light is coming from this particular side, the shadow will be created the other side. What will be the size of the shadow? If there are multiple objects, like एक बॉक्स के ऊपर दूसरा बॉक्स पड़ा हुआ है, तो ऊपर पड़ा हुआ बॉक्स जो है उसका शेडो भी नीचे वाले बॉक्स के ऊपर भी गिरेगा, and also on the floor as well. So understanding of light and shadow is also very important. So second question is based on light and shadow and the structures. Also, sometimes some questions related to colors also are asked, like they will ask you to make a composition where you have to fill up the colors of your choice, right? So, and which will suggest something. Like, for example, there was a question I was teaching today only to the students, that by using 3 squares, 1 circle, and 2 rectangles, make a composition which suggests Swachh Bharat.
Okay.
Right? So the student is supposed to make the composition. Like my student, she made a nice Gandhiji's jadu, and a nice India ka flag behind it, and colored it into the three mediums, which suggested it as Swachh Bharat. And the elements taken were those 2 squares, 1 circle, and 2 rectangles. So such questions are generally asked. Then there are questions which are asked, like from the perspective is like, if you are an ant, okay, and you are sitting inside a pizza box, draw the view you are seeing. So you have to sketch a thing like a pizza box where you are an ant. एक ant जो होता है वो pizza box के अंदर बैठे बैठे कैसे देखेगा ना, उसके लिए एक पनीर का टुकड़ा भी पहाड़ जैसा है, for an ant.
Right.
So that proportion also matters. So here the course really takes into the judgment of your perspective कि आप कैसे उसको देखते हो. Second, the proportion, कि आप एक चीज से दूसरे चीज को कैसे रिलेट करते हो. थर्ड इज कलर थ्योरी, कि आप कलर्स कैसे यूज करते हैं, बिकॉज कलर्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन आर्किटेक्चर एंड डिजाइन. The colors scheme, color understanding the color scheme. Like if I put up a yellow color suggests friendship. If I put up blue color, blue is a cool color, that will suggest peace. So this theory and understanding of colors is also very important for architect students. So these are general topics which are covered into the entrance exam preparation.
That's really brainstorming, ma'am, actually speaking. It really needs, like, a very witty brain to answer all this and to work with those patterns and color therapy type. Well, ma'am, what is the best score that a student can aim for to get into the best colleges like? in the entrance?
Right. Basically, entrance exam preparation and the 12th standard score will combine make your NATA score. So, of course, your 12th result matters a lot to make up to that 50%. And other 50%, like generally, the students have to score from 200. So, like 180, 185 is the correct score for getting into the very good colleges. If you
Okay.
score 160 to 80, like it is average, and if you score below 160, it is always, choosing up wisely that where the seats are remaining and which college to take up.
Okay. Well, ma'am, when are these exams conducted? What is the exact month when these entrances are conducted?
Yeah. Generally, the exams, NATA examination is conducted in two attempts. Like, the student have this flexibility to give the entrance exam twice, and the best score will be considered. While due to COVID this year, the government has declared that student can appear for three times also for the
Okay.
entrance, and the best score will be considered for the NATA. So the forms generally comes in January and has to be filled in January itself, and the examinations are mostly in the month of June, July, and August.
Okay. Fine. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you for sharing so much with us. I'm sure students or parents or even the educators who happen to see this interview of yours will surely have an eye opener, and they will know how they have to prepare if they are going to aspire a career in architecture or interior designing or anything with the designing part of it. It's really been wonderful to hear to your views. Ma'am, would you like to pass on any message to the students who would be seeing this video of yours? Or we would also like to know what at Visual Palette you do, like what are the courses that you offer? And do you have it on the online mode if any student wants to connect with you? Or is it only offline? So if you could share this information with us.
Sure. Visual Palette Design Studio is the only institute in Kutch where we are coaching students for such entrance exams. So all the people from Kutch can come offline to us, and otherwise students can connect us on our Instagram account called underscore Visual Palette underscore, and where we will provide them with the online kit, which will be helpful to them for preparing from home itself, and also we give the online assistant to the students. So basically the courses conducted at Visual Palette Design Studio are the entrance exam preparation for NATA, that is architecture, also for top designing colleges like NID, National Institute of Design, NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, also some colleges like Pearl, Soft, Srishti, etc. So basically, any entrance exam related to creative fields, is coaching is being given here at Visual Palette. Also, we do offer the short-term courses like diploma courses in fashion designing, interior designing, graphic designing, event management, and all other basic creative fields. Also, we give technical guidance like software related to design and architecture like AutoCAD, Illustrator, Clone 3D. These are the softwares which are used in architecture and design. So those are also taught at Visual Palette. And also, we are starting with the degree courses this year, collaborated with the university in Rajasthan. That is 3 years degree course in fashion designing and interior designing.
Thank you,
Right.
ma'am.
So all the students out there would like to tell you very interesting field, very scopeful field, little out of the way from your regular courses. So do give it a thought that if you really want to enjoy while doing your courses, courses and also as a professional, then these are the courses for you. You really need to work flexibly in this courses. There is no strict timing to do the courses because you are your own boss here. So all the students who are creative, you must go for this field.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sparing your time and giving us your valuable views. I'm sure it will really help many students, and many of them would really change the course of their thoughts and would like to get into creative fields. Because as per now, it's a myth that students who cannot do anything get into creative field or humanities. So let's together change the course of their thoughts
True,
and hope that we have more
definitely,
and more children towards creativity. It's been a pleasure to
absolutely.
share the platform with you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was fun talking to you, Sonia ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. The
Bye.
pleasure is all mine. Thank you.